like to say, you learn more from your failures than you do your success. I've got a major fail behind me, and I do believe the good Lord is looking after me and sending me in the direction I need to go. That's what I tell myself when something goes wrong. Stand back, look what happened, because the good Lord is sending you a message. Change your ways. How many people have went through their life and something just slaps them in the face, basically telling them, this ain't working, you need to do something else right now, not tomorrow, right now. Well, that's what I believe is going on back here. That's what I'm going to tell my heart and my brain. Something's going on back here. I'm not going to get sad. I'm not going to get depressed. I'm not going to get mad. I'm going to look at it as learning, and let me go through here and show you why. If you look back here behind me, what you see is purple hull peas lined up. I have cultivated between them. I have hoed out between every one of them, and it was some work, I ain't gonna lie, but I did it, and it's done, and they're looking good. They're still, let me just show you. They are still pretty small. I mean, the grass was as tall as they was. That's what made it so hard, but they are coming on, and it won't be long. Weather has been a little cooler than I think normal here, and it's kind of slowed their growth. I mean, every morning has been like wear a jacket, cool, maybe high 40s, but this dirt really needs to get to around a 70-degree temperature, and then stuff will just all of a sudden, it'll shoot off. Some sun, 70-degree temperature, little water, it'll shoot off. But let's walk up here and I'll show you where the problem lies. See them, I don't know if you can see them, how pretty them rows are. See them rows there? When I went to the feed store, I was picking my girl's brain up there as far as purple hull peas. I know, I told her I wanted some Mississippi pink eye top pick purple hull, and she said there's no such thing. I was like, what do you mean there's no such thing? I get them every year. She said, no, you get Mississippi pink eye purple hulls, or you can get top pick pink eye purple hulls. I was like, well, what's the difference? And come to find out, one year I planted one, and the next year I planted another one. There's a big difference. Let me get it right for you. The Mississippi pink eye, no, okay. See, this is why I get in there and get confused by wrong damn seed, because they're so close. The top pick pink eye purple hull pea, the purple hulls stick out the top. It makes them easy to pick, and basically, if you're a large farm and you have machinery that goes through there and picks them, it sticks them up so your machinery can grab them easier. And they only produce one time, and then they're done. That is a big difference. That's what I planted last year. They all came, it almost killed me, but all them peas came ready at almost the exact time. I picked for a week from daylight to dark. Not a pea got by me, I don't think, because I was resilient. But after that, there was no more purple hulls growing on them. The year before that, they just kept growing and growing. I just picked and picked and picked and picked till I was tired of picking and mowed over them. So that's the difference. Let me say it right. The Mississippi pink eye purple hull grows all season, but they're not up as high. I believe they're up there, but they grow some in the bush and some up high. Now the top pick pink eye purple hull, poke them all up high. They only grow one time, and they all turn ready right about the same time, which is good for machinery because they want them all ready at the same time. Because once they go through there, it's done with. Ain't no going back. So if they're green or done turn to seed, they're getting picked. But back to my problem here. Let me say it right. The Mississippi pink eye purple hull, we was going to do 10 rows, and then the top pick pink eye purple hull, I'm getting it down, we was going to do 10 rows. Now my buddy next door, John, he has a cedar, and usually we hand drop them, but it just takes forever. So John said I could use a seeder. He said he'll bring it over for me. So, I was out here getting it all ready, getting the rows ready, and it was coming around 10 o'clock. John ain't showed up yet. So I told my wife, I said, just go ahead and start dropping the peas in these rows by hand. And if John don't show up, we'll get them in there, because we don't want to wait till it's hot in the daytime. We'll burn out. So she starts dropping them. Now she is dropping them heavy. I expected to have peas left over once I hit the 10th row. Come the 6th row, she was hollering, I need some more peas. I said, you're putting too many. I went over there, and the rows were just loaded down with peas. I'd done it before. Load them down with peas and then thin them out when they come up. That way, if the bugs come, they don't kill them all. They'll eat some, but there'll be plenty left, and you just thin them out after that. So that was my first issue. We only had 6 rows, and then we had to swap over to the top picks, and that was going to be 14 rows of top picks, or maybe 15. Let's say 15 rows of top picks. John shows up with a seeder about the time we're ready to put the top picks down. We load it up. Dana's rolling through there. She is loving it, man. It's just, you just put the seeds in it and basically take off walking down the row. She is loading them up back there. Just whoop, whoop, whoop. I come over here and I'm raking the dirt over the seeds she hand dropped. And it's loaded up, man. I mean, a seed every 1/8 of an inch and some stacked on top of each other. It's loaded up. I cover them all up, go over there, check all them, make sure they're all covered. Well, when she gets done, we look at the seeder and look at our bag of seeds, and we're like, we need to get one of these, because apparently we've been wasted a lot of seeds, because we still had half a bag left. Did 14 rows, had a half a bag left. Did 6 rows, burn up a whole bag. We need to get one of these things. Let's get forward 2 weeks. I come out here, these things pop up pretty quick if you get some rain, and we put them in right before it rained. I'm walking through here looking, and I'm seeing them popping out of the ground just a little bit here and there yonder. Well, okay, good, man, it's working. And another week passes. I come out here, the Mississippi, the top pick pink eye purple hulls, the ones that get already at one time, they're out of the ground. There's only thing is there's big gaps between them, and the Mississippi pink eye purple hulls over here, I see 1 here, 1 there, 4 there, nothing. I mean, a whole row, 100-foot row, there might be 5 plants. I start thinking something is wrong, man. I think about it, and then I think we had a lot of seeds left over. That seeder, you can't see if it's dropping seeds. It drops it through a little hole, and that much further, it has a little thing that closes it up. So while Dana's just running through there, that thing may be stopping up, because I noticed there'll be a big gap, and all of a sudden there'll be 2 plants coming up, like maybe 2 seeds got in it and jammed it up, and then they popped out, and then it started dropping again. That was a problem. I went back through that row by hand and put a seed everywhere there should have been a plant. All that. Up here, still nothing. It's been over a month. Look, still nothing. There's maybe the same 5 or 6 plants per row. Okay, Joe, so where's the big miracle you've been talking about? Well, 2 years I've planted these purple hull peas. The first year my wife helped me. The second year she said she ain't picking a pea. And she wasn't lying. She didn't pick a pea. It almost killed me picking these peas by myself when they all get ready at one time. We got here at daylight, and I'm still covered in sweat head to toe. But we picked almost 75 pounds of shelled purple hull peas, and they're still growing. I mean, we're still getting blooms and getting young peas on them. So I don't know. Over here, these 6 rows, I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. It's raining. I can't do nothing. It's raining and the grass is growing in the rows. But then it dawns on me. I've heard of it, seen it, never done it. I'm hoping I'm using the right word, succession planting, where you plant something, you wait 2 to 3 weeks and plant some more, wait 2 to 3 weeks, plant some more. Usually this is large farms that do produce mainly, do this. That way they have cucumbers or whatever they did it in all the way through the season. They're not all ready at one time, and they can keep their business open longer and satisfy their customers longer doing it that way. They don't throw anything away because they just have too much. I'm not big time, and I'm not year round. I'm not trying to make a living. I enjoy doing it, and I enjoy the fact that I can make enough money to pay for it and buy me some better tools every year that makes me run more efficient. That's my whole goal for a while, is to have it pay for itself, and every year I get me another tool that makes it more efficient. So what I'm going to take out of this is the fact that the good Lord said, Joe, you're killing yourself. You need a succession plant. Pick half of it. It'll, instead of taking you 8 hours, it'll take you 4 hours. Pick half of it, sell it. I'm going to sell everything I pick, but pick half of it, sell it. Then the other ones will be coming ready, and you can only pick half of them. Instead of trying to pick 20 rows, pick 10 rows, and then 3 weeks later, pick 10 more rows. And being these peas only produce once, and these things grow better in the heat than they do in the cold, I could pick these, mow them over, run my disc or something through there, replant them, and then turn around and pick them. And while I'm picking them, these will be getting a start, and I'll get 3 different sections. Instead of 20 rows, I'll get 30 to 40 rows. I'll double my rows if there wasn't an early frost, because these things will go until a frost. If I want to double my rows, that's a lot of work. I'm 60 years old. I burn out, man. I do this, and I like it all get ready at one time. I want to sell it and be done with it. Put the money in my pocket, go do something else, because it gets hot. And I'm 60. Did I mention I was 60? So starting this year, whether I stumbled onto it, forced into it, or if there's a higher power working on me to get me to go that direction, I am succession planting my purple hulls. And it may extend over into some of my other, if this works good, it may extend over. I got 2 rows of okra. I'm thinking about making these 2 rows instead of purple hulls, okra. Them will be ready. They was planted about a month ago, and then these will be ready. And I'll have okra, instead of it 2 weeks worth, I'll be able to supply them for a month. So that's my plan. I'm sticking to it. I think the good Lord sent me in that direction for some reason. I'm going to say that's what happened. I'm going to say it wasn't a mistake. I'm going to say that people didn't send me some bad seeds. I should be up there cussing them out, explain them how much more work I'm going to have to do. I'm just going to take it in good stride, get it done, and see how it plays out. Stay tuned, and you'll see with me.